Greetings, everyone. It is I, Kikoski, welcoming you to the stream. The praise stream, to be exact, where you have the opportunity to get here, get comfortable, get ready for some King of the Castle. How much more can this kingdom crash and burn? We're about to find out, everyone. We're about to find out. How are you all? How goes it? Is there cool stuff happening in the world of you? Hello, Templar! Who you never know, this could very well be the last King of the Castle stream if I can think of something to potentially replace it. It's not that I don't enjoy the game, it's that who knows? We might think of something even fancier. Because we all know the true winner is Tiny Train and Templar. They're just gonna buy out the entire kingdom. There is Ada with 4 years of Prime Gaming. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. Greetings, very early life present. Oh, why, we get presents on our birthday, not hand them out. Ah, well, enjoy Peso Bucks. I will, thank you. And remember, if you have Amazon words. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which means you have a Prime sub. You can give to anyone you like. You can even spend it on me. I mean, I won't say no. I'll take all the Peso Bucks. I don't think he's even a part of the company anymore, but it's still called Peso Bucks. Hello, Black Rabbit. How are you doing? I fixed the light above me that was not working properly, so now I have full light in this room. Hello, Tentretto. I also hung up a few pictures, got some more stuff out of the other place, and soon there will be shenanigans. Many shenanigans. Hello, Tentretto. Hello, everyone. Yeah, this kingdom. Amazingly, Sven managed to get his son to take control of everything, but I feel like this kingdom has problems. I feel like this kingdom has massive problems. And one of those problems is that everything has gone to ruin. Hello, Deus. Hello, Tiny Train. Oh, it won't let me begin yet. Things are going pretty well. Oh yeah, we have no grandees. It's like the grandees just went, nah, we're not playing today. Hello, Shield of Hope. I hope you are doing well. They just decided to go home. However, the Barons, they are all here. All the Barons are here. Imagine if you had the, a king put up there by the grandees, and none of the grandees turned up for your reign. Literally none of them. Hey! We have a grandee. Thanks, Nuddle Masher. How you doing? So, the kingdom isn't doing so hot. Who's currently richer, you or Templar? Actually, you, Tiny Train, by about 800? I'm not doing badly, thank you. No general complaints. Tiny Train has retaken the crown. But yeah, the kingdom is in a bit of trouble. Oh, Voralane is richer than both of you. Oh yeah, Voralane is like 6,000 richer. Yeah, Voralane has secretly been amassing more wealth than both of you. Oh no! You cannot do that, tiny train! Hello, Area, how are you doing? Hope you are doing well. Has to be by vote! Hey, Grimmeth, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We got a cav. We also have a kingdom that's kind of on fire. Twitch insisted I click on it, and I agree. I mean, that's a good idea. So welcome to our kingdom, where only one of the three regions has any military to speak of. Only one of them now has any kind of faith to speak of. Really, the Grandees are actually doing the best out of all of them, apart from the fact that their military consists of one person with a sharp stick. One person with a sharp stick is all that they have. I mean, it's not the worst military we've had. We've had a military where it was literally one between all three. Like, out of 30 possible military, we had one. That's all you need to defend your home. Yes, but with the Ashmedian Empire there, and Tavalin there, and the Frozen Waste Giants there, and that erroring out like it does, because that's what it do. Yeah, there's a couple of problems. Don't have weapons? What are we going to defend ourselves with? Massive yes. I'm not sure in hindsight, I think maybe just a mass production of sharp sticks. We have, actually. Unfortunately, there's not the infrastructure for it in the Barrens. I mean, the other two places have the infrastructure to make sticks. The one thing that sort of endured is trade. This realm has had the highs of spider-riding, golem-using, unstoppable death people to this. Yeah, then the Hordelings stole all of the spoons. Every spoon was stolen. I have a feeling that eventually the thing is gonna bug out, but we know how to fix that at least. So amazingly, despite everything, last time, I almost had a chance to win conventionally, but I failed a percentage roll, and the people voting decided to still hand me the victory by having my heir become the new ruler. So we're on Sven the Second, who is probably going to be even worse than Sven the First. Sven was really bad. Yeah, the sequel to Sven. Sven was really terrible. Like, really, really terrible. Sven too. I mean, we are technically ruling the kingdom. This is true. We are ruling the kingdom. Up until things go awfully. Sven was better than some other monarchs. Yeah, we have had some truly awful... Like the one that got eaten by rats. They were pretty terrible. They got eaten by rats. It's like, I feel like being consumed by rodents. and then they were consumed by rodents. That's not actually what they wanted to have happen. So, I've hung up some pictures today. I've also brought more stuff into the house. And tomorrow, furniture turns up that I'm going to have to start assembling. That's going to be exciting. Yeah, there have been a lot of bad ends for my monarchs. There have been a lot of bad ends. But there have also been some good ends, too. Also, the fact that last... Oh yes, there was also that ending. Yeah, there was also the one where we were going to lose, but then we just ran away and decided to become an adventurer. That was a pretty nice ending. Where we didn't die at the end. Yes, the eloped happily ever after one. It all went great. It didn't, in fact, go great. It kind of went awfully. It kind of went awfully. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I did mention the one when we were eaten by rats. That, could have gone better. Like, 0 out of 10 do not, in fact, want to be consumed by rats. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about the no military. I feel like bad things are going to happen, that, the Ashmedian Empire is going to invade again. Possibly. Maybe. We'll continue after these short commercials. I mean... You want a short commercial? I got one for you. I'm trying to get a table. A jazz. Didn't you print money last night? No, actually I didn't. I took out a loan and repaid it. Maybe at some point we should do a reign where we do all the things. And we do the loan. We do every single way to get more money. Because everything will go just fine when you print more money. That never goes wrong. Printing money never goes wrong if you just print more money. It has never failed. It, in fact, has failed many times. And usually it's the next monarch that has to deal with the problem. We just throw the next monarch under the bus. I suppose not, no, Grimmeth. The fun part is that you're all so super intent on literally destroying the kingdom so that you can inherit the mess that you create. At what point are you going to turn around and go, hang on, maybe I don't want the kingdom to be a literal dumpster fire when I inherit it? Maybe I in fact want the kingdom to be kind of stable. stable and doing well. Ada, however, has redeemed the Avatar tax. The Avatars greatly appreciate your kind generosity, and will use those sesame seeds well. Probably to destroy the kingdom. May the reign be prosperous. I'm seeing the 2 defiance here, and maybe I'm doubting that you think my reign should be prosperous. In fact, I may go so far as to suspect that you think that my reign should be an absolute catastrophic failure. You're like, oh boy, I wish Kiko's reign was awful so we could then take over. And then you hoped it was awful. Well, we'll find out, won't we? I'm getting a fancy storage thing. I don't know if it's actually going to give me more or less space, but it's going to look pretty. We need more nobles. I mean, more nobles would be... Then again, just under half of our viewers are currently nobles. The problem we have is there are a lot of barons right now. But more people turn up at 7 o'clock, so, you know. Maybe the barons can just railroad me into disaster. But I have been thinking about potentially starting something new at some point. I just need to think of something that would replace the game that I'm doing now. Something that you don't want to see. I just don't know what that would be. It's always that weird thing of, they always wanted to be a grandee. Well, now you are a grandee. What a grand thing it'd be. Like Friday we got Might and Magic 7. Which, by the way, Grimmeth, there were some shenanigans with the Quantum Loot Dragon. There were a lot of shenanigans with the Quantum Loot Dragon. Yeah, I'm going to be sorting out the sound thing in a moment, or rather, for next time, with the music. But yeah, there was Quantum Loot Dragon shenanigans. Which, to be fair, only really slightly leveled the playing field, because magic and the absence of it is going to be a huge problem. It's going to be a huge issue. They'll be like, hi, just use magic. And I'm like, oh, that thing that we are totally good with. Yeah, we got loads of magic. Okay, that guy has loads of magic. What about the rest of you? No. No, we don't have that. We don't do magic. We got warm climate, loads of farms if we need to fight someone. We just throw massive amounts of money bags at it until they die. I mean, you've also got a military that's about as effective as a wet tissue. Remember when the Barons had 10 military and they kept wanting to fight the Ashmedian Empire? Do you remember that? Yeah, I've edited the music fart, the innie. I just need to change them to WAV. I just need to change them to WAV. I just haven't got round to doing it yet. I've been pretty busy with the whole house stuff. House stuff be house. I've got a ton of furniture I'm going to have to build at some point. Some of them I'm excited to build. Other bits I am much less excited to build. Some of it I'm really not thrilled. But that is just how it will be. I wish I was busy with house stuff. I've been waiting for the end of the chain. I was very lucky in that there was no chain. The people that we were buying the house, we weren't selling a property, so we had didn't have to wait for someone to buy anything we had, and the people we were buying the property from didn't have a person that they were buying from. They were moving to something that they'd inherited. So there was no chain. There was just a buy and sell. Kaplow. We were lucky. Ah. That is fair enough. Also, we have talked beyond the 7 o'clock part. Let's get things going. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your father, despite the fact that we gave him away to the Ashmedian Empire. But now it's your time to wear the crown. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens to your coronation. But it's my coronation! This is an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past the council vote. Even this. But oh, okay. Shall we call the nobles in? That we shall. Look away, by the way, Tom Tom. Alright, so, there are choices. You only have 2 choices. Throw the king in the river, or don't coronate me at all. Just like, nope, just make me king. We don't need this. Uh-oh. People are voting for D. I don't think it's going to go through. Nah, looks like we have tradition. It is decided. The king will be thrown in the river. What? What kind of coronation is this? No, let me get changed into my nice robes. The nobles pick you up and carry you out into the Treadwater River, hurling you out in the shallow waters below. As you climb back the banks, soaking wet, the chancellor steps up, places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination, or are some of the nobles stifling giggles? They probably are. Oh, is it doing that thing again? Yes, it is. It's alright, we fixed it. Now that you're king, your first duty is to meet the Council of Nobles. Hello, barons. Hail and well met, Your Majesty. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. May the ninth god bless your reign, Your Holiness. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. I mean, collectively, if the chief and grandees vote on the same thing together, they'll be able to outvote the barons. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Highness. You'll need it dealing with us lot. The council immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue. Is this what your father fought so hard for? Not really. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill, and with your father out of the picture, the nobles will be looking for any opportunity to replace you. When you die, how will you hope the kingdom will remember you? I'm gonna be peacemaker because I'm just tired and I don't want people to fight. An admirable aim. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Alright, so, who's scheming? Bastion of the Golden Eulogy bloodline, infamous Marcher Hunter, stands before a blazing hearth, shouting and swearing. I would say that we never back down from a fight, but right now we couldn't fight our way out of this room. But the door's unlocked, sir. Exactly. Doppelganger, intimidation, or propaganda? Considering the fact that I'm trying my best to raise stability, intimidation is the bugged one for you. Oh, are we going for doppelganger? Are we going for Biffo? Are we having Biffo the Clown? We're doing Biffo the Clown. This is when everyone goes for doppelganger. I just have to make everyone really, really mad. The barons plan to swap the real king for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance their scheme, the barons must keep defiance at 4 or less for 4 seasons. The War of the Three Biffos. Bork of the Tentretto clan, eccentric northern hero, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam, droning on as if in a trance. chiefs of the north, we actually have a military worth speaking of, but, yeah, that's not going to last. Prophecy, Ragnarok, or Hornblower? We've had Prophecy which one haven't we had? Ragnarok I don't think we've had. My son is also named Bork. Everyone has voted, therefore... Oh! Now there's actually more grandees. The chiefs plan to make an alliance with the ice giants to take over the kingdom. First, they must not be weak, or the giants won't take their proposal seriously. To advance their scheme, you must raise military to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Yeah, about that. Vina of the Sebastian Array lineage, well-known southern prodigy, stands bathed in sunlight, speaking softly. A false pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. To be fair, my claim was written on the back of a graham cracker, and I ate the graham cracker, but I totally saw it, so it's totally fine. Right, uprising, witch hunt, or excommunication? I mean, have we actually managed uprising before? I'm not sure we've ever managed uprising before. Witch hunt we've definitely done. Oh. Well. Looks like it's witch hunt. There's all sorts of heresy in the capital, and the grandees intend to expose it. First, they must ensure the south is beyond reproach. You must have the highest faith in 3 seasons. Well, that's absolutely guaranteed. Okay, honestly, we're gonna pick that one. Call for unity. Right, so what's the awful events? Giant spiders, honor guard, an invitation. Let me do that one first. Your Majesty, this year we'll be holding the winter feast in my clan hall. It will be an honor if you could attend. I look forward to it. Ha! Can't wait. Winter feast is a special time of year. You'll see. Good! Don't want to annoy you right now. Honor guard time! Time to annoy people. One evening, you're sitting in bed, reading some paperwork, when a filth-encrusted present wanders in your bedchamber as bold as brass. Hello, your Madge! Glad I found you. This bloody place is a maze. Mind if I take a seat? Who are you? Oh, me? Name's Ralph, your Madge. Pleased to meet you. Listen, I've got a bloody great idea for you. What if we tied a bunch of birds to a knight? I reckon you could field some aerial troops and totally dominate the battlefield. Before Ralph can explain further, your marshal bursts into the bedchamber, sword drawn. Your Majesty, I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. I have no idea where the Palace Watch are. Do you want me to kill Judah? No, I want you to vote on this proposal. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. She goes and gathers up the council, who trickle into the hall in their pyjamas, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They don't look particularly pleased to be woken up. I mean, clearly, the North needs to pilot this program. Come on, people. Vote for the North to pilot this program. It'll completely work. You know? Yeah! Great plan! So it's like, no! Like, no, this is incredibly stupid. It's like, no, this is great. Look, this plan is bound to succeed, okay? When have I ever let you all down, okay? When have I ever let you down? Apart from all the times I've let you down. Under Ralph's close supervision, a flock of ravens are tied to a northern warrior. Instead of flying, the knight is lost in a flurry of mad pecking and pooping. Ralph insists you merely use the wrong type of bird. Further experiments are conducted with owls, eagles, geese, woodpeckers, ostriches, and little grebes before hundreds of northern troops quit in disgust. Needless to say, the whole ordeal is an embarrassing failure. Your Majesty, if that peasant had been a maniac with a crossbow, I dread to think what could have happened. If one thing's clearer than this mess is that you need an honor guard who can actually keep you safe, not like the pathetic watch. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just arrange to hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. I think I know who I'm going to hire. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. Ironically, I'm going to hire the Northern Warriors, because then the only military in the world will be from... No. Let's hire the Southern Nuns. I will make the arrangements at once. The battle nuns arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel masks betraying nothing, before filing into formation behind your throne. Meanwhile, giant spiders. My liege, the forest in my land has been completely overrun by giant spiders. Some are as big as horses. The trees are shrouded in webs, and travellers are going missing. We must put a stop to this. I mean, clearly, we must burn it with fire. If there is one thing I know about fire, it could, but also fire. Everyone loves a bit of fire, right? No? Actually, you know what? Let's make this interesting. Send in the army, we literally don't have a military for that. Let's make this interesting. You can either live with the spiders or burn the spiders. You cannot vote C. C is not an option. I have vetoed it. It's okay, they're only spiders. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It might, provided we actually, you know, allow that to be an option. I might just save my veto for it. Coexist? They're monsters! Mandibles dripping with venom, snatching merchants off the roads and stringing them up to suck them dry! No harm in trying it out. No harm? Tell that to the next poor soul they find hanging upside down with no juices left in their body. You send your chancellor to Curl University. Perhaps the scholars have some ideas on how you and the spiders can coexist peacefully. Or maybe we'll just burn them all down. There are options there. All of them are good. They probably all died. Nice to see that the chiefs remain the only military presence in the entire world. I mean, at least the kingdom is incredibly stable right now. And nothing bad is going to happen that will change that. There's my stream day? Fridays. Friday is Might and Magic 7. I mean, it's got a glowy effect and everything, Tiny Train. It's absolutely the stick of legend. So, military has gone up to 2. Military is, not great. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take a liberty of finding eligible candidates. No, I don't want to be in love! Are you sure, Your Majesty? My nobles will be most upset. Surely it behooves you to look at some options. No! Very well, your majesty. I shall speak no more of marriage. But, your majesty, may I ask why you refuse to marry? I just don't wanna. I see. Far be it from me to question my king. Good luck in the days ahead. You'll need it. That's fine. Your Highness, the situation in the south is dire. The city watch in many of my cities are understaffed, and now crime is rampant. Even dueling has dwindled as minor nobles take up other hobbies, like knitting and insect collecting. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the south. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? I mean, we could literally go bankrupt. I mean, we could just go bankrupt. Speedrun bankruptcy! Vote for A, everyone! Vote for A! Speedrun bankruptcy! We've not actually had the bankruptcy ending before. Yay, bankruptcy! Kura's like, no! Why are we going bankrupt? It's alright though, there'll be another monarch after this. We have the opportunity to lose exactly all of our money. Mercenaries? I'm not usually one to trust them, but I suppose it's better than nothing. The Marshal hires a company from deep within Ashmead, warrior priests of Javagada, demigod of the Strangled Sea. Apparently they were the best value. Rubbing shoulders with heathen Ashmeadian mercenaries isn't exactly what the Grandees had in mind, but they can't deny the results. Crime takes a sharp dip in the face of the warrior priest's harsh justice. Also coexisting with spiders. Greetings, your majesty. I'm an arachnologist you sent for. Having spider problems, giant spiders to be precise. Pteracnus magnum, colloquially known as the giant spider or the gigantula, a fascinating specimen, and with many practical uses. You can raise them as livestock and milk them for their potent venom, or you can harvest their silk, which makes fine sails and formidable armor. Last but not least, you could train them from birth to be ridden as mighty steeds. Who could resist a cavalry regiment that comes to battle atop these almighty arachnids? The possibilities are endless, but first you need to get a hold of some eggs. No easy task, I'm afraid. I mean... I could just say that you can't do anything with them. Like... Hang on, oh no. We haven't actually done leave the spiders alone. Don't worry, you've got a great voting option. You've got D and... There you go! Ghidorah's like, nah, B. I've just realised that the end of the month is probably the money, so we're not going to go broke. Oh, I wanted to go broke! We're at 0 money! When you said you wanted to coexist with the spiders, you didn't mean you wanted to exploit them. You kicked the arachnologist out and ordered the forest cordoned off and left alone. You never hear anything more from the infested wood, though Baron Deus Phoenix grumbles that the occasional merchant still goes missing on nearby roads. Okay, so 300... No, there's no way to do it. put you to minus... Arg! There's no way to do it! Why is it so hard to go bankrupt? Ooh, Royal Gamble is a good idea. For now, let's put ourselves at 100 money. Actually, let's put ourselves at 300. That's fine. There you go. We are poor. Bankruptcy looms, stargazing. Well, let's do bankruptcy looms. The treasury's almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, there are precious few options. You could get a bank loan, or sell off the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, so I've heard. I mean, I could just print money, right? Yeah, just print more, make more money. The Royal Mint begins churning out new coins, allowing you to pay off several old debts. That's fine! Nothing bad'll happen. This simply can't go on, Your Majesty. These arch-boffins think they know everything, but they know nothing of the Ninth God's wrath. Please, it's fine, girl. Please, Your Majesty. We've had a perfect site for an observatory, high in the southern hills, but it's on Grandee Mad Steve 79's land, and he refuses to let us build there. Something about burning alive in lava. Such things are heresy. The stars are just as big and close as the Ninth God intended. Who put you up to this idea, Bet it was one of those barons. Like, welcome to Tiny Train World. I mean... I'm just gonna say... see what happens. I can't really stop the Grandees. Unless everyone votes to construct the... Unless everyone votes to construct the observatory. That could do it. Look at all the money we've got, folks. Nothing bad will happen because of that money. Construction goes ahead despite Grandee Mad Steve's misgivings, which are soon validated. A gang of local peasants, emboldened by religious zeal, storm the observatory and burn it down before it's even finished. Mad Steve's inability to find the perpetrators is very convenient, but you can't prove anything. Darn it. After weeks of leading your baggage train across perilous mountain roads, you finally arrive at the snow-swept clan hall of Chief Ghidorah. The hall is crammed with all the chiefs of the north, sitting cheek to cheek along tables, groaning under the weight of food and ale. Welcome, Your Majesty, to my humble hall. Take a seat, grab a drink. It is customary at Winter Feast to exchange gifts with the host. What did you bring? I mean, obviously, I brought a casket overflowing with sapphires. That is far beyond what was necessary, Your Majesty. I will forever be in your debt. Now I can afford to repair those blasted roads. After that, the feast goes on long into the night. The fires roar, the bards sing songs of the old days, and Blake ale is consumed. A couple of hours, you are extremely, extremely drunk. The chiefs appreciate how much you're getting into the spirit of things. They roar with laughter at your mumbled jokes. Someone claps you on the shoulder so hard your crown falls into your beer. And Winter Feast draws on, and the snow piles up outside the doors. The mood in the hall turns raucous. Your memory is blotchy, but you distinctly recall getting into a fight. In your drunken haze, you tell a joke that might have been construed as a little insulting to one of the chiefs present. And their mother. Oi! Say that one more time, I'll batter you! The chief is so drunk you're not sure they realise you're king. Or perhaps they're just too far gone to care. I will totally asked my honor guard to intervene. Your honor guard jump into the offending chief and try to drag them away. It quickly turns into a giant brawl that spreads throughout the clan hall. A thrown axe embeds itself into a nearby support beam, and you decide it's time to retire to bed. In the ensuing riot, several of the North's best warriors are killed. The next morning, the clan hall is a smoldering ruins. The chiefs are burying their dead warriors in the snow outside. Well, I should be going. Not a problem, Your Majesty. I told everyone to be on their best behaviour, but sometimes Winterfeast gets out of hand. This is one for the sagas. You bid farewell to the chiefs and begin the long, perilous journey back to the capital. Oh no, what a shame. Looks like that military's back to 1. In the picturesque castle overlooking the southern city of Serena, 2 grandees lie back to enjoy the sun. Enjoy your fresh money! Praise be! Whisperers of our plan have reached the peasants, and they're in an uproar. They call for the sins of the king to be laid bare. I've certainly overheard a few scandalous rumours about the king's private life that could be exploited. Everyone's asking why he isn't married. We have the High Inquisitor on our side, but we must also sow dissent among the other regions. They won't succeed alone. For the next stage, you must raise the other regions' divides to a grand total of 8. Well, I need to lower some defiance. It's alright though, we have the Monarch's golden choice. I should have picked the other one, but it's alright. A new festival? Your Majesty, I was going through the history books and found the most interesting tidbit. During the reign of Queen Iga, the kingdom held a huge parade in honour of all the regions coming together. It was called the Day of Kinship, and it was quite the party. Festival, you say? Lots of drinking and dancing? Yes, but it wasn't just about that. With all the visitors who came to the capital, the city flourished. I hear it made things much more harmonious across the kingdom too. I suggest we reinstate the Day of Kinship. Well, I never need a regions to party, let's do it! Wonderful, Your Majesty. The question is, how much money do you want to spend on the Day of Kinship? I'm sure the nobles have their opinions on the subject. I mean, clearly, money is no object. Only the finest parade for the crown. I mean, this will never go wrong. We're definitely not burning through all of our cash. Curse you, monarch. Let's marry the Pope this time. Actually, this time we're going for a public ceremony of things. I vote for the free money back. I should have picked the other one so I could, like, burn through my money. But this'll do it too. The treasurer looks worried, but scribbles down notes. I've reduced everything by 2. Stilts, walkers, contortionists. Excellent, I'll make the arrangements directly. She and the Chancellor leave deep in conversation. Soon, word of the Day of Kinship spreads all across the kingdom. Guests are already planning their outfits. Your Holiness, the peasants accuse me of hoarding wealth. Me! I mean, got more amount of wealth. Worse, they're throwing down their tools and burning their belongings, saying they want to live an ascetic life, and that I should do the same. They want to have more exercise? No, not athletic, ascetic. They don't want to be pinned down by worldly possessions, but burning them is quite the overreaction. The ringleader of this movement is a philosopher called Ortega. She calls herself a voice of a ninth god, and the peasants hang on her every word. They'll be at my door any moment. I mean... No option to seize their wealth? I mean, they don't have any wealth to seize. Oh, this person. Yeah, that's true. We could seize their wealth, but we're rich. We don't need any money. We need no money. Everything's fine. Nothing is fine. It's all awful. Grandy Daffy McBrien arranges one of his few loyal servants to go to Ortega's gathering, so you hope to hear from them soon. Meanwhile, both rich and poor scramble to show off their devotion of Ninth God in the face of Ortega's surging popularity. Your Majesty, a travelling bard. She says she has come to compose a song for you. Not just any bard, Your Highness, the best in all the land. I'm Sally Sixfingers, and I've let down every single monarch I've met for the last 20 years. A song about me? Why, of course. In fact, I have the tune and verse all ready. I've saved the best work for you, my king. Well, all I require is a subject. I want them to fear me. I will do so, Your Highness. Absolutely. Give me but a few weeks, and everyone within the Crown Lands will know your might. Pray, I need only a small amount, 500 gold for a time. Discounted rate for one steam such as you. I'll pay you quadruple. Make it worth my while. Oh, Your Majesty! The bard scurries out of the throne room without delay. The song has the desired effect, with everyone impressed by your regal bearing. Actually worked! Deep in the forest of the March, Baron Shield of Hope has gone boar hunting with a few of his close friends. You said you had a surprise for me? Indeed, and here it is. Behold! Your Highness! What are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry. I hope you didn't overhear any... Quit blabbling, you blowhard. This isn't a king, it's Biffo! Remember Biffo? Biffo? You know, the performer? No? Great God! Just in time. The spy master trusts us. We can move on to the next phase, kidnapping the king and putting his fool in his place. How do we manage that? We need the king to be in utter chaos. Bad enough that the king's abduction could slip past unnoticed. You need to lower stability to 4 or less. Meanwhile, far to the north where snow blankets the landscape and wolves howl in the night, the cheap spot to bring about the end of the world. Ragnarok. What happened to your clan warriors, Black Rabbit? Your lot look like they'd rather be baking cakes. It's been a hard year for recruiting, but we're working on it. Ah, you'd better, or those ice giants will sooner laugh at us than help us. It's alright, you got this. You got this. You got this, alright? The day of kinship. Your Majesty, the day of kinship has arrived. Today, the regions will come together to honour the achievements of Queen Iga the Reconciliator. This will be the best festival the capital's ever seen. Absolutely, Your Majesty. Thousands of visitors gather, eager for the glorious spectacle. Many camped overnight for the best spaces. The streets are lined with stalls selling food from across the kingdom. Your float awaits, Your Majesty. You send the steps to your parade float. It's as tall as a small cottage and wider than an elephant. 10 horses wait at the ready to pull it forward. You choose to build a statue of... myself. You take your place on a seat right next to your effigy's crown. The massive bust accentuates your best features. The horse drives forward and the crowd roars in excitement, clapping and cheering and throwing rose petals. You get used to this. As you make your way around the capital, the other floats follow in your wake. The marcher float looks like a forest growing up at the mountainside. Upon it, the baron's eating a lavish feast. Occasionally, area high one too throws a chicken leg or a honey cake down to a peasant. Kid of Burden and several other chiefs stand atop a model mountain on the northern float, dressed in ceremonial kilts. An effigy of an ice giant towers over them, glaring at the crowd. On the southern float, a mobile temple laden with flowers, several grandees lounge on gilded sofas, as Grimmeth shadow duels with a ceremonial rapier that whooshes impressively. Whoosh. That is much whooshing. Whoosh! By the time your parade reaches the lush garden at St. Serena's Park, it's sunset. Towering bonfires banish the dusk. Very jolly, Your Majesty? A chance I've been looking forward to this week. Can I get you a drink? A couple, yes. She brings you back a couple of flagons of mead. Cheers! What now, Your Majesty? The night's young. I will go dancing! Hello, Your Highness. Please join us. You join the dancing nobles and peasants. The musicians strike up a new tune, a real crowd pleaser. best dancer. You dance the night away with Tentretto II and his companions. Things get very fuzzy after a while. In the end, your enthusiastic pirouettes hit your stomach, and you vomit all over T. Tentretto II's expensive dancing shoes. He and my chiefs take this as a grave insult. I tried. But shouldn't every party include some inadvertent bodily fluids? By your book, it was a grand day of kinship indeed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Your Majesty, the Barons of the March have invited you to a jousting tournament. How delightfully rustic. I will indeed support a knight. The Chancellor inclines his head politely. No, it wouldn't be my ideal day out, Your Majesty, but I'm sure you'll have a marvellous time. And false idols. Your philosopher Ortega is preaching that we can only be close to the ninth god if we reject our worldly possessions, which would be bad enough. But she's also performing miracles. My spy saw her heal a woman's broken arm with a single touch, cure an old man's blindness. It's probably fake. Whatever we might think, the peasants believe in her. More than flock to her barn every day as rumours of miracles spread. Clearly, the church should just perform better miracles. Like, we should just, do better. It's like, oh, you can cure an arm? We can cure all the arms in the kingdom. 2 arms healed. There's only a 70% chance of this. I think the last time we did it was like at 100%. Actually, to be fair, even with 10, it's only an 80%. But my defiance! It's alright, though. It's other regions' defiance that needs to lower. Needs to be higher. Not yours. You being defiant is fine. The Archbishop sends priests to a village long abandoned to drought. I want to be defiant anyway. Don't worry, you'll get your chance. Townsfolk from neighbouring lands eagerly follow the holy group. Once arrived, the priest's voice raising choral harmonies. Townspeople join in as rain begins to fall, refreshing the land and turning it green once more. Word quickly spreads all through the south that the church could do what Ortega could not. In the end, one of Ortega's own followers turned her into the church investigators. You expect her in the capital soon. Couple of interesting things here. Besides, none of you can rebel because stability is at 10. You wouldn't... Even with B, stability would be at 9, which is pretty good. It's not like anything really bad is about to happen that would mean that stability is going to get a lot worse. Don't you tell me what I can do. If you don't mind. Okay, let us see what happens. Okay, military for the chiefs is slowly creeping up. You only need to get 3 more increases. You only need 3 more. Don't worry, everything is about to tank. Really badly. Ortega arrives from her throne room, dressed in rags and flanked by the Palace Watch. She lifts her chin defiantly as she walks. Your Holiness, you wanted to see me? So you don't believe in owning things? Getting rid of what's unnecessary is how you move closer to the ninth god. She has given me the ability to heal, and so I must use it. How can you claim to have anything to do with the ninth god? She's a heretic, plain as simple. By the ninth, I'm no such thing. He's just afraid of whatever he doesn't understand. I mean, we haven't had her executed. We've already done B. Let's do C, shall we? Let us just be rid of the problem. Exile is one thing, but just execution, just gone. Eradicated. Wait, I'd like to change my vote. Too late, you can't. You've already cast your vote. It is done. She's hauled away. Ortega holds her head high, completely silent. She's beheaded the next day at dawn. Later, the Archbishop sends you a handsome jeweled chalice as a coincidental gift. The barons have assembled upon a jousting field, watching from tall stands. The place is buzzing with excitement. Welcome, one and all. I have a most thrilling guest today. Murmurs rise to the crowd, along with scattered applause. My liege, the highest-ranked knights of the tournament are applying for your favour. First is Baron Zivo Zerace the Cunning, who won every bout last year. Some claim that she cheated, but surely they're just jealous. Second is Baron Golan Eulogy. No one thought he would succeed this year, but he obviously trained hard. People are calling him the underdog. Last is Grandee Game 0010, the interloper. A surprise foreign contestant, but he qualified nonetheless. So, Your Holiness, who do you favour? The underdog. You beckon him forward and affix the ribbon to his chest. The crowd cheers as you rise to the starting post. I will whoop and cheer myself. Laughter ripples around the audience. Cheering redoubles. The bout begins. Grandee Game is his first opponent. Their horses stamp as the two jousters glare at each other across the field. Have at you! The jousters gallop towards each other. Game catches Golden Eulogy square in the chest with his lance. Slowly, painfully, he topples to the dust. Praise be! Victory! Grandee Game goes on to win the day, claim a hefty cash prize, and is on track to win the entire jousting championship. Baron Golden Eulogy carries on bravely competing, but the barons mutter that your so-called favour is nothing but bad luck. Meanwhile, as you ordered, Your Majesty, the Royal Mint has churned out thousands of new coins using cheap gold-like metals. The treasury is technically replenished. Let the good times roll! But it's also devaluing the currency across the kingdom. A loaf of bread now costs 100 times what it used to. Something must be done. If this gets worse, our currency will be worthless. Alright, people. There's nothing wrong with this. Let it continue. We did it! Gaining money to go bankrupt. Sound plan. We did it, folks. I destroyed the economy. Why did you do it, Sven? For the lulz! What's economy? What are taxes? Total unity. We all accept the bribe. You stubbornly cling to your existing currency. It has your face on it! You can't throw that away! Oh, dearie me. Soon, farmers are selling each turnip for a wheelbarrow full of coins. Everyone's savings have been completely wiped out. Eventually, the cost of minting new coins actually outweighs their value. The kingdom's economy collapses like wet bread, and people start using the barter system. Somewhere in the march, Baron Shield of Hope sits at the banquet hall, gnawing on a greasy chicken leg. He and his fellow plotters discuss their scheme between mouthfuls of cheese. The kingdom's not exactly peaceful, but there's still no way we could stage the abduction of the king without being noticed. We need chaos! Yeah, about that. This doesn't matter. Deep in the south, in the back garden of a sun-bleached villa, a number of grandees crowd around a figure, raising their arms in a toast. Here's the future Queen Vina, and the golden age on the horizon. It has already begun. Mart peasants and merchants alike know we're the best option for a safe and bright future. May the ninth god strike down the false king for his wickedness. Soon the Inquisition will be complete, and the Archbishop will be crown our claimant. But what should be done with the king? I've got some bad news for you. No matter which one you pick, I lose. But it's alright, the kingdom can get even worse. Vote now. Vote 10 player, that's not an option. You cannot vote that. A glorious way to usher in the new queen. The ninth god will surely be pleased. First, the current king's grip on the kingdom must be at an all-time low. We wouldn't want to face any backlash from our little fireworks show, would we? You must reduce stability to 3 or less. However... Wait, no! We've done it again! How do we keep doing this? How? We can't make it. Every time we're gonna go broke, it's at this exact moment. I just want to go broke. Let me go broke. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. I don't know. Sell off jewelry. There you go. It's a humiliating affair. Oh, look, this tiara. Fetching, isn't it? Don't mind if I do. Check out this scepter. It's like I'm the king. Look, we're gonna sort this out, okay? Of course, Your Majesty refused to get married against my advice. There's one other thing you're missing. Something even more important than a spouse. An heir. You need someone young, whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do a trick, even if they're illegitimate. Look, I'm sure we have a cousin somewhere. Of course, an entirely sensible idea. I'll make the arrangements at once. A letter. A letter has arrived from Baron Golden Eulogy, Your Majesty, the favoured competitor from the Baron's jousting tournament, you recall. He is badly injured in the final bout and had to pay an expensive physician to treat his leg. Nobles across the kingdom have raised concerns about the safety of jousting. They're worried a fad will become even more dangerous. I mean... All we need to do is keep stability up, because if we don't, everything will go horribly wrong. If we don't keep stability up, the entire kingdom is sunk, because the grandees will win. We don't want the grandees to win. Actually, I don't want the grandees to win. No, stability is not overrated. It's very important. Baron Golden Eulogy gratefully accepts your gift. Meanwhile, the jousting craze booms all across the March and beyond. Aha! The Royal Gamble! We could use this to go broke! Your Holiness, that troublesome philosopher Ortega is gone, but our followers are marching on our estates demanding justice. The same in the north. They're making her into a martyr. Look, clearly... we need to ask the church for forgiveness. Oh, actually... you could send the army to put a stop to this. Or we could ask the church. You got any idea you can get away with this possibility? I'm afraid we can. Look, I'm gonna drag defeat from the jaws of victory. I'll do it. You watch. It's tied. Your troops charge in and order the farmers back to their lands. Any complaint is met with a blade. There are rumours of unflattering corn effigies made in your image, but the peasants are too afraid to even whisper Ortega's name. That's all fine. Right. Jousting fever. I regret to inform you a jousting-related petition from the March, Your Majesty. Why the regret? It's a splendid idea. Your Majesty, we must reinstate jousting as the official justice system of the March. Trial by combat's the way it used to be, before the court started sticking their noses in. Okay, hear me out. What if you have one choice? I'm not letting you vote for a 0%. Then I don't vote. Well, guess what? It's still going through. Cross a finger for lowest stability. It could happen. It could happen. Baron 10 player bows deeply and leaves with a sigh. A wise choice, Your Majesty. There's no more talk of a trial by joust. In fact, many competitors sell their horses and equipment to enterprising merchants. There you go, it's all good. Famine, though. Hello, Your Majesty. I've travelled all the way from the north to beg you to do something about the price of grain. I can't afford to feed my family. A day of back-breaking work is enough for my day's worth of bread. She's right. The grain price of the north is beyond our control. Greedy merchants rake in profit while the common folk starve. Clearly, we must put a cap on the price of grain. Actually, I need that money. Now remember, you don't want to vote for D. D means doom. A, however, means the game goes on. Don't worry, there's always another monarch. And the problem is, next time, Grimmeth, you'll be the ones propping up the monarch. Oh no, it's tied! Do I vote to lose, or do I vote to not lose? I vote to not lose! You place strict price cap on grain. When the wily merchants find a way around it, you order a few of them hanged, as examples to the rest. This short, sharp lesson does wonders. Soon enough, grain is cheap again, and no merchant dares to say a word. Hopefully, most of the peasants will stay alive until next harvest. Still in there! The deceased. The elderly Chief Margetta, a cousin many times removed from Chief Lish the Fox, died in her sleep last week. She was nearly 90, would you believe? Was it a friend of yours? Not at all, Your Majesty. She was very wealthy, however. But she could have spent more time on her accounts. She died without a will, and one was a scrabbling for her estate. Chief Margetta was my relative. I wrote to her at least once a year. Of course the estate should be mine. My late great-grandfather used to play backgammon with her. She swore she intended to leave it to our family. By the old gods, that's a pitiful claim. none of these ensure that I get anything. I mean, honestly, I don't care which way this goes. D does. Eh. Do I want money? I want to do that. I want to do that. I have a plan, don't worry. I have a plan. Perhaps I can engineer things perfectly so we end up losing all of our money. Northern and Marcher nobles watch an outrage as peasants occupy the estate and move into the manor house. Using the late Margetta's money, the peasants set up a marketplace in her land. It turns out to be a huge success, with merchants flocking to the place in crowds. It's alright though, irritating visitors. Your Majesty, I simply can't stand it any longer. I need you to do something. Who peeded your porridge this morning? I have filthy peasants scrabbling over my newly built fortress, tapping the walls, mucking about in the sewers. They've heard legends of buried treasure beneath the site. Total nonsense, of course. I need you to keep these greedy treasure grubbers on my land. Actually, these rumours might not be nonsense. After conquering the north, King Harold the Great is said to have buried a huge stash of stolen loot. I mean, spoils of war. What are you suggesting? We should search for the treasure ourselves. Send a team of diggers to take the place apart, brick by brick, and dig deep into the foundations. By the old gods, what are you saying? That would destroy the whole place! I say... whatever you like. Do whatever you want. None of these matter. Except wasting money. Wasting money is a good idea. I want to waste money. Divide the votes, but I'm trying to waste money, everyone. I'm trying to go broke. Also, too bad stability goes up. Your Highness, to build something and then tear it apart would be completely foolish and waste of precious noble wealth. Ah! The legendary comet. Well, yes. Of course I am, because that would involve not losing. Also vultures. Greedy southern merchants are taking advantage of cheap marcher labour, my liege, exploiting our natural resources, and putting our trading companies out of business. They're vultures! Vultures! Is it really such a problem? It's just business. It's just business, baby! It's just business. Amazingly, I'm still not out of this, which is terrifying to think of. Vote chaos. You cannot vote chaos. Chaos is an option. Wait, can I even vote? Yes. If you're in the game, absolutely. No, you haven't joined. That's why you can't vote. Vote Biffo. If you've joined, you can vote. An utter travesty. I should have known better than to expect the council to be worth to anyone. Praise be. My companies are safe. Glad this council sees sense for once. The southern companies of the March continue to tick over nicely, siphoning money out of the region and making Grandy Gvold filthy rich. See, look! You can even improve your military chiefs. You can even improve your military. Military's inching up, slowly but surely. This kingdom's still going even after hyperinflation. Gotta find a... Yeah, we can invest in this kingdom that is purposely attempting to bankrupt itself. I mean, it's a good idea. It's a brilliant idea. Invest in this kingdom that is trying to destroy itself. Alright. Bankruptcy... Oh, my heir! Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a child in your arms. Should I die, I ask my crown be passed down to... my daughter. The assembled nobles break out in polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of your kingdom. My liege, may I be the first to congratulate you on adopting an heir. What is her name? Sven the Third. Fantastic, my liege. I'm sure Sven will grow to be a chip off the old block. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition and win the game, which won't happen. A prediction. Your Highness, excellent news from beyond the sky. As your Majesty knows, I'm an amateur astrologer. I've seen that a solar eclipse is on its way, visible from the north. You must encourage the kingdom to gather beneath the dark sun and experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. By the ninth, nay! An eclipse is a warning from a ninth god, a sign the kingdom is fallen to shadow. All the nobles start talking at once. Some are excited, some are horrified, but all are very loud. That's what I'm going for. I have a plan. Can I make it happen? These sun-obsessed fools should focus on the land, not the sky. Some of the chiefs grumble that the council is taking the impending solar event seriously, but even the grumpiest have to admit that concentrating on the terrestrial assets yields a decent bounty. Also, wild beast attacks. How goes it? It's a train wreck. Your Highness, I bring ill tidings from the north. Wildlife has gone berserk in rural areas. They are attacking villages and travellers all across the region. Beasts, you say? Can't you deal with them yourself? These are not mere beasts, Your Majesty. They are giant, hulking creatures, clearly twisted by magic. Some say they walk and talk like people, but all the warriors are afraid. They say creatures are a dark omen, a sign of the end. Gods above, what's gotten into the chiefs? They can't handle a few wild animals. The other regions have plenty of their own problems. Your Holiness, no one wants to march to the frozen north for something like this. Then what am I to do? Point of order, Your Highness. So the church's presence up north is minimal. We could provide shelter for those who need it. All be welcome, whether they are adherents to the true god or not. It's the least we can do. Or if you can afford it, send a detachment of mercenaries who aren't afraid of a few wild beasts. I should be able to put an end to this crisis. Clearly, we must help the North. I am trying to go bankrupt, Cav, and it is so much harder than you'd think it is. Because both times we've gone bankrupt, it's been tax collection time, and you can't, if you're at 0, end tax collection with less than 100. The minimum you can be at is 100. The Archbishop instructs all churches across the north to open their doors to refugees fleeing the attacks. They are more than glad for the assistance. Over time, the beasts withdraw. The Northerners are grateful for the church's help, with many finding a new place in their hearts for the ninth god and his disciples. Okay, right. The problem is we can't go broke. So you know what? We might as well tax you harshly. Because we've got other problems. At long last, the chiefs have reached their boiling point. You're confronted in your throne room by Chief Urbis, his tattoo seeming to shift in the light of the braziers. The chiefs of the north will rip your false crown from your head and stomp it into the mud. We'll be fighting for glory, for honor, and for Bork, the true king! Okay, I want this to succeed because then we will have a King Bork. This is a formal declaration of war. The next time we see each other, we'll be on the battlefield. One day I will see your head on a spike. There will be many heads on spikes before this war is over. Mine will not be among them. Chief Urbis strides from your throne room without looking back. I didn't expect him to move so boldly, Your Majesty. What are our chances against the rebels? Well, we're badly outnumbered. Your hopes are slim. How do things get this bad? The leader of the rebellion is Chief Gentetto. As reason for the uprising, he's citing your past transgressions, many of the time you stubbornly clung to your money despite the hyperinflation it caused. Too late to apologize? It is. Now's the time for swords, not words. So is this it? Civil war? That's right, Your Majesty. The kingdom is divided, there'll be a lot of death and suffering before this is all over. I can't wait! I'll go dig out the trebuchets. The wizard Scrampton demands across access to the north for the upcoming eclipse. Some manner of magical event is expected. They've made some manner of deal. I wonder what they have planned. I hope the wizard doesn't cause trouble for us. Wizards rarely engage in human politics. It's likely this volatility will blow up in the chief's face. A solar eclipse could have any number of magical effects. Some believe demons could burst forth in the darkness. Others believe we'll all go blind. We shall see what lies ahead. My dear Barons of the Marsh, thank you for joining us in our righteous war against the tyrant King Sven II. I never thought I'd be fighting alongside a chief. And I never thought I'd be taking up arms with a baron, but before you join the fight, you must decide where to direct your opening strike. Your army is too weak to attempt any military action, unfortunately. If we suspect the grandees may join our cause, we can call them to war. We'll be more likely to join if the king's authority is low. We could also call upon the church to condemn the king, or finally, you could send an assassin to nip us in the bud. Honestly, you could just try kill me. Note you don't want the grandees to be called in, because you can still win if stability goes down to 3. That's the thing. You still have a chance to win. Who are the Oligard? Yeah, those are the grandees. Thank you for meeting me with such short notice. The sum you offered piqued my interest. You understand why the sum is so high, though? Yes, you want me to assassinate the king. There is no trouble. I am a child of the Viper, and I am very indistinct, inconspicuous. If you have the gold, and you want a man dead, he is dead. Get it done. I'm dead serious about my job. New gods. Today was the day you were supposed to meet with Chief Lish the Fox for a report of the wild beasts that have been ravaging the north. With the Chief's uprising, however, this meeting has naturally been cancelled. Both sides have more to worry about than wild beasts now. Vast armies darken the landscape like shadows of clouds. Flags are flying, drums are pounding in rhythm with the marching of boots. The kingdom is gripped in civil war! At least that's what you imagine. Most of your time is spent in the safety of your palace, poring over a giant map with your marshal. Your Majesty, the army of the north is trying to link up with the army of the march. If we take them both on at once, we're in real trouble. Our only hope is grandees. Against both armies at once, they'd be outnumbered. Perhaps they can take one of the rebel armies by surprise before the two join forces. We have no choice but to strike one or the other before it's too late. What are your orders, Your Majesty? Clearly you need to go after the Marcher army first, because you don't have an army. Very well, Your Majesty. I'll relay your orders to the commander in field. Hopefully they'll do what they're told. Gods know the treachery that could thrive on a battlefield. Okay, people, we can do this if... This is going to be interesting. I think we should follow orders. I think we have a chance to do this. You want this war to go on? Because if it does, you can potentially win. You will lose if they win the Civil War. You're guaranteed to lose if they win the Civil War. Like, you're guaranteed to lose. You've got to go with a chance of victory. Follow orders and send the Southern Army to fight the Barons. Let's see how this goes. No balk? I mean, I've got to try. The whole city holds its breath. You stew in your palace, waiting for the marshal's return. Finally, she bursts a throat boot, drenched in blood and sweat of battle. Marshal, report. At dawn, we drew up in battle formations. It's all very orderly at first, Your Majesty, but after the trumpets blow and the cavalry charge, it's nothing but blood and screams. We never win these, by the way. The Marcher army smash into our troops like the fist of a ninth itself. What army? Well, sir, they're pool noodles. Have you ever been hit with a pool noodle, sir? Your Majesty, I've never massacred like that. So much blood. We were utterly annihilated. Some of the southern forces may have survived the fleeing to the hills. I don't know. I had to get out of there. This is all your fault. We lost. We're all going to die. Pull yourself together. If we want to see the year's end, you must build up fortifications, stockpile food, train up a city's militia. Because honestly, now's the time to hunker down and hope for a miracle. The armies of the Chief of the Barons will be camped outside the city wall in a matter of weeks. It's time to pray for the ninth, Your Majesty. Because apart from him, we've never actually beaten a rebellion. Ever. Well, this is going well. But we could die before this happens. It's an afternoon like any other. You're sitting atop your throne, listening to the petitions of the common folk. A merchant is droning on about the number of beggars in the capital's main square. Suddenly, you spot a flash of movement out the corner of your eye. What's that? A hooded man steps forward the crowd, unsheathing a lethal-looking blade from his belt. The merchant's droning stutters to a halt. Aha! You have been attacked by me, the most inconspicuous assassin in all the kingdom. I, Stabby McKillfist, will kill you. I come from a long line of assassins, like Poison McMurderman and Backstab McSuspicious Dude, and of course, the one that started this legendary dynasty, Death McKillface. Oh wait, there was also a guy before him. He was called Steve. We don't talk about Steve. Guards! Guards! Your honor guard rush forward, silent other than the sound of their blades being drawn. The assassins fling the blade at you, moments before the southern battle. I could stand there like an idiot. Okay, hear me out, folks. I could stand there like an idiot. I am very tempted to stand there like an idiot. Fortunately, the assassin's aim was thrown off by your honor guard. The blade sinks into the throne's backrest, an inch from where your head had been. Your honor guard and the assassin engaged. Somehow, Malone Killer downed several of them in an instant. Ah! The legendary kill the honor guard move that I learned from my cousin, Shank McMurderman. Though they received only superficial cuts, they're already convulsing, with foam dribbling from their lips. Eventually the assassin is cut down. Blast! Murdered because of my disdain for armor and my lack of self-preservation! Not before your southern battalions have been utterly decimated. The few survivors die within hours, also foaming. Your Majesty, are you alright? No, I'm absolutely not! Calm down, Your Majesty. The danger has passed. It's a good thing your honor guard were loyal. I dread to think what would have happened if they'd sympathized with the rebels. She pulls out a knife that had been embedded in your throne. I suspect it was coated with scorpion cat venom. Slightest scratching, you died in indescribable agony. I need time to process this. Of course. The barons will stop at nothing, even murder, to bring you down. Thank the knight, your honor guard. May they rest in peace. Things could have gone very differently. How is Sven still alive? We don't know! We're about to not be. I do have an heir, by the way. You could totally vote for my heir. In the capital, a solar eclipse does little except make the day a little grey. But the north is a different story. Your Majesty, Scrampton has quite the impact on the north during the eclipse. Word has it that he stood beneath the dark sun, and when he stretched out his arms he was engulfed in a tornado of salt water, but just stood there and laughed. In the end, the water vanished, and some more shells and coral erupted from his flesh. But he left the chiefs vast riches. He drew oyster pearls from the earth with a mere nod and handed them over as a reward. Why don't wizards give me money? Best not to involve yourself in their business, Your Majesty. They'll be rich with one hand and burn a kingdom with the other. Your Majesty, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like first? The good? We have come up with a plan to weaken our enemy's forces outside the city walls. And the bad? The plan involves a rare and highly contagious disease known as Thymian's pox. As we speak, it's working its way through our citizens inside the city. Go on. Now tell me more about it. Thymian's pox is named after King Thymian the Short, a very tall man by all accounts. The pox, for whatever reason, causes people to grow a foot or two before they die of exhaustion. Let it never be said that physicians have no sense of humour. Regardless, it's spread by close contact to infect individuals, as well as to rats and fleas. It would be a trivial matter to spread such a disease to the traitors outside the walls. Devious and despicable. I love it. I knew you'd agree. I mean, let's be honest, folks. We want to spread Thymian pox to the besiegers. It's a 12% chance. Folks, do you want to go for a 12% chance that this will work? %12 chance, come on. Let's go for it. I want to see if it'll work. No, really, I want to see if the event will work because it's going to be funny. We're going to lose either way. I want to see the event because it will be funny. Like, the Unity thing doesn't matter. Because you're gonna lose anyway if we don't. We have to try. Okay, at this point, you're just handing them the win. Oh, wait. It only does if we don't die here, is the point, Daffy. Like, we need that disease to weaken the attackers, otherwise you lose. So I'm going for the 12%. Your spy master arranges an elaborate ruse involving infected soldiers getting captured by the enemy. You await the results. Unfortunately, the chiefs respond to the threat quickly, quarantining sections of their camp and stamping out the disease before it can spread. Worse, the plot is swiftly uncovered when the captured soldiers are interrogated. Peasants and nobles alike soon condemn your tactics across... That's fine. Meanwhile, the disease spreads so rapidly within the walls that they're uncontrollably so. Many people die, but the pox is contained likely to certain distance. Now, here's the question. The Grandees have probably won this. Most importantly, the nobles and the rebels are unaffected. The siege continues much as it did before. See, I wanted to try the 12%. It would have been funny if it had worked. And even if it didn't, we got an interesting dialogue. The barons and chiefs march through the crown lands, pillaging and burning. The roads are heaving with refugees and corpses clog the river. Now the capital is surrounded. You stand on the ramparts of your palace, staring out in disarray as the army camps stretched for miles around outside the city walls. Get down from me, your majesty! If your lucky crossbow bolt hits you, they look like ants from up here. Yes, well, even ants are terrifying in enough numbers, and after someone's kicked their nest. We have one hope. The Grandees are still out there, your majesty. Their armies are smashed by the rebels, but they're gathering forces and calling on reserves. I hope they can get here in time. You're right, there is still hope. As you finish your sentence, an immense trebuchet hurls a 10-ton boulder towards the capital. It crashes into a nearby clock tower, smashing into smithereens. Like I said, your majesty, you better get inside. I mean, maybe there is E. But it doesn't matter because you've won anyway. Like, it really doesn't matter. You could vote B and deny the vote B and deny the Grandees victory. Oh! Oh, if you vote B... Oh! Now someone from Red needs to vote for something to outfund F. Oh, here we go! Here we go! You just need to vote for more A. Oh dear, 10,000. That's a lot of money. Someone suddenly funds a bajillion money into A. You need more than 1,000. Ah. We'll see which end happens first. The answer is... the Grandees. You struggle to keep your eyes open as you pore over your letters late one night. The candle burns low. Just as you're about to get a nose full of ink, there's a soft knock at the door. Good evening, Your Majesty. I'm awake! I came for a chat and concern for your safety. Isn't that your job? I don't like when you give me that look. Then you should listen carefully, Your Majesty. There are a number of rumours circulating about you at the moment, all preposterous, I'm sure. Naturally, but the common folk are easily swayed. Many think you're a monster, if not literally, then figuratively. Before you could answer, your marshal burst through the door, a panicked look on her face. No time, spy master, there's a mob forming outside, and I think it's about to turn violent. How violent? Somewhere between angrily waving torches and pitchforks about, and putting the king on a block and chopping his head off, I reckon. Your marshal leads you down a winding staircase to a secret exit. Through the palace windows, a pack of city folk are pelting tomatoes at your beleaguered watch. This way, Your Majesty. After entering a dark tunnel, you realize long before your marshal is leading you through the catacombs that crisscross the underbelly of the city. When you emerge in the darkness, you're far from the palace in an old canal. Now what? Not to worry, Your Highness. We may need to abandon the city to the rebels in the short term, but we'll soon link up with the loyalists to crush them, alongside these peasant upstarts. Over there! It's the king! You pick up the pace, but a horde of peasants are soon chasing you down the streets, calling for your blood. As you round a corner, a familiar figure is waiting, flanked by a dozen inquisitors in blood-red hooded robes. Greetings, sinner. I want to stand and fight. Your marshal looks at you uncertainly. Your Highness, we cannot hope to fight them alone. Come now, listen to your marshal, Sven. Nope. Before she has a chance to get closer, you sprint down a side street. After him! A fight breaks out as the marshal tries to cover your retreat, but she's quickly cut down by a horde of inquisitors and zealous peasants. They'll be fine. So you're so transfixed on what's going behind you that you don't see Grandee the entire population of Mars until you've run into her. Steady, Your Highness. Where do you think you're going? Moonlight flashes on the dagger in her hand, then suddenly blood is flowing out of deep wound in your side. I'll see you in hell. The Grandee is perfectly silent, but a smile crosses her lips as you collapse to the ground. You come to 2 as the Inquisitor lifts you off the cobblestones. Granting the entire population of Mars 2 is nowhere to be seen. Moments later, you're being paraded through town as peasants hurl rotten fruit and bricks from their windows. By the time you get to Arod Square, the crowd is gathered and a pyre erected. Shouts of heretic, monster, and sinner are tossed around like pigskin ball. As you're hoisted onto a stake, you notice a crowd of grandees watching from the corner of the square. You are hereby found guilty of high crime against the ninth god and his followers, including blasphemy, apostasy, profanity, and treason. Do you have any last words? Torch-bearing inquisitors chant as they light the straws of your pyre. Ah! The crowd cheers. Everyone loves a good public execution, especially when it's royalty. The flames grow higher, higher, until you're engulfed. Your reign ends in ash. The fiery, spectacular fate of King Sven II passed into legend, an enduring lesson in the power of the Ninth Church. All that remained of the Baron's attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner, deep under the castle, clad in an iron mask and shrouded in rumour. The chiefs, led by Tentretta II, launched a rebellion that accomplished nothing, decided distracting the king while cunning schemers took the throne. The Inquisitors' bonfires blazed with every street of the kingdom. With heretics' dissenting voices disposed of, the grandees crowned Vina to rule over the ashes.
Mayhem!
The other nobles did not dare protest. And that's the Fufa there with 51 months. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. However, if you give me one moment, the King Sven the Hated. Oh boy, that's a good title. King Sven the Hated. No one liked Sven. Wealthiest noble is Vorlein. The kingdom is in a bit of a state. Now, if you give me one moment, I'll be right back and we can get started on that reign, which will go just as well as the last. It's alright, folks. We're back. Now we have Queen Vina, who inherits the previous kingdom and all of the awfulness. And the best part about this, Grimmeth, and all the grandees, is that you now can have a loyalist ending where if the monarch wins, you win as well. So now you actually have an incentive to have the monarch achieve their goals. Because you win too. The Ninth has smiled upon us and our plans have come to fruition. Verily, there is much to celebrate. Now remember your duty. You must ensure that the Grandee's interests are enforced throughout the kingdom. Ninth bless the South. Indeed, Ninth bless us all. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. Hail and well met, your majesty. Please don't try and kill me as well. Well, we're probably inviting you to Winterfeast eventually, but, yeah, don't kill me, please. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will they be a good little queen and do as they're told? Hey, Alias. Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from King Sven the Hated, who is hated by everyone, except his mother. But you must still answer to the council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? There are choices here. There are many choices here. Oh yes, D is very funny. We've had that one. So when you have a monarch succeed after another, stability starts at 6 and so does authority. Or when it doesn't happen, it starts at 5. However, tradition must be upheld, and we shall be yeeted into the river. Well, once again, into the river you go. Just let me get changed into my nice robes. Nope. Sploosh, river. Once more. Now, victory. Oh, this is happening again. Oop. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers, unless, of course, they prove themselves worthy of a throne they have stolen. When you die, how will you hope the kingdom will remember you? As a saint. The church will love you, I suspect, but will anyone else? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall faith as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Ah, it's Bastion of the Area High One bloodline. Do you like my hat? And my moustache? I think combined they make for a rather striking image. So, uprising, propaganda, or gunpowder? There are your plans. I was about to say, is anyone voting? So, grandees and chiefs, you need to keep authority high. The Republic of Kurth has a substance called gunpowder. With enough of that, the barons could take over the kingdom. Of course, a sensible queen would never allow one region to hold such a thing. To do so secretly, the barons must ensure that trading partners don't fear the queen's wrath. To advance their scheme, the barons must lower authority to 4 in 2 seasons. Can't rebel, we've only just started. Selby of the MacBlub clan, legendary northern troublemaker, is standing and shouting. I should be on the throne. I don't have a great moustache. Actually, I do, but it's part of my beard. That makes it better. Alright, Doppelganger, Ragnarok, and Hornblower. Oof. I would not recommend Hornblower. We're going for Ragnarok again. Yeah, we can do it this time. Sure. Second time's the charm, right? The chiefs plan to make an alliance with the Ice Giants to take over the kingdom. First, they must not be weak, or the Giants will not take their proposal seriously. Military of 5, let's go! Ernesto of the Mad Steve lineage stands bathed in sunlight. Praise be, Vina now sits the throne, and the grandees are in charge, but the other regions will already be scheming to depose her. Do we stay loyal to the new queen, or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Loyalist is always interesting, because you actually have to work to uphold the monarchy, and that means there are only two schemes going on. Ernesto has a fantastic beard. There are many great beards going on. We've got about another 55 minutes or so. We can get quite far into this reign. Throw Ernesto in the river! No, don't do that. Also, give me a moment. I need to plug my phone in to make sure it has some charge. Alright. Let's go. That settles it then. Glory to the Queen and glory to the Ninth God. But we can always change our minds. If Vina ever gets out of line, we can take up arms and get rid of her the old-fashioned way. Yes, with our zero military. The Grandee's goal is to aid the Queen by countering the other region's schemes as much as they can. They will win the game if the Queen produces an heir and completes their ambition. However, if defiance gets too high, they can still change their minds and rise up in rebellion. So, Gunpowder Ragnarok Loyalist. Ooh. Oh, these are all bad. Ooh. Huh. Honestly? No, I'm going for stop the count. One day you'll walk through the palace gardens when you're confronted by the usual sight. One of your palace watchers standing guard, but instead of a pike, he's holding a mop. Fearlessly defending me from dust, are you? Last week a grubby little urchin kicked me in the shins and stole my proper pike. I grabbed the first replacement I could find. Or, and if there was an assassin, I'd probably hide behind a decorative urn. I can only apologise, Your Majesty. The palace watch have been more incompetent than usual recently. It's obvious you need a proper honour guard to protect you. Weren't you horrendously stabbed when I came into power? Yes, I got better. You were stabbed 17 times with a sword and then hit with a cannonball. I got better. You were smeared across the pavement. Praise the Ninth, I got better. Don't question it, all of your advisors are immortal and unkillable. It may look like we're dead, but in actual fact we never die. What? Don't worry, you'll not remember this after this cutscene. What? But first, how can we improve the watch? Alright, people. Hear me out, everyone that's not a chief. We invite northern soldiers to provide training. This is a great idea, and nothing could possibly go wrong. The chiefs are honoured that their martial prowess is acknowledged. A squad of hardy northern warriors soon whip your watch into shape. Though, by all accounts, some of your watch incompetence rubs back off on them. One thing's clear from this mess is that you need an honor guard that can actually keep you safe, not like these kittens. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Your Holiness, the Sisters of Steel were chosen by the Ninth God. Surely they will be chosen by you as well. I have made my decision. I await your verdict with bated breath, your majesty. You know what? I will pick the southern nuns. I will make the arrangements at once. The battle nuns arrive at the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel masks betraying nothing, before filing into formation behind your throne. I trust that the grandees will keep me safe. Grandee Farsight Tree strides to the council chamber, brandishing a clay pot from which grows a long, leafy plant with floppy yellow flowers. Our expert farmers have discovered a new kind of plant, your holiness. I thought you might be the one to name this exciting new discovery. Tymian's Bane. Menacing, I like it. This stuff grows wonderfully fast. It tastes horrible, but the farm animals don't mind. I suggest we grow it in South as livestock feed. Or perhaps we'll make a nice addition to the palace decor. Clearly we must cultivate it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We cultivate the amazing plant and everything goes well. Nothing ever goes wrong by planting a voraciously growing thing. Oh, clearly the rest of the community doesn't like fun. There's always it never ends badly. Then we can send it to another nation. Exactly. So we don't see where the kudzu used to be. So, southern farmers plant fields of Tymian's Bane to support their livestock. It spreads alarmingly fast, and the pastures become known as the Tymian's Bane Sea. Villagers claim you could walk for a day and not reach the end. Nothing bad but... oh, hordlings. Your Highness, I'm ruined! Hordlings have occupied my vineyard and driven my staff away. Oh no, Grimmeth! Why can't your fellow grandees help you out? My plight is of no interest to them. We will assemble the council. Ninth bless you, your highness. I mean, I can't force you not to do anything. But I don't recommend burning Grimmeth's vineyards. We could hire adventurers to investigate. We don't often do that. I say you burn my vineyards. Well, we will see. We're voting for burning it down. Okay then. We burn it down. No! That vineyard is my livelihood! But a hoarding infestation is no single person's problem. If they were to spread, they could ruin the homes and businesses across the south. The vineyard and half the hillside with it is lit up like the sun. Unfortunately, the summer weather caused the fire to spread, causing a blaze that consumes a few farms in the process. But once Grandee Grimmeth's wealth goes up in smoke, it's not long before he's turned to begging on the streets of Merona. Alias has subscribed in 53 months. Did you know you can't use Prime subs on iPad? That's what I learned today. Well, thank you very much for the sub. I greatly appreciate it. It's alright, Grimmeth. You've only got no money. But you have your health. Ooh, many things can be done here. I mean, clearly, military must be improved. We could also, you know, lower faith or improve stability. Why not? We all want a more stable kingdom. Now, Grandees, we probably want to stop A. So we need something else. Like D. Yeah, D's good. D's great. I mean, yeah, military goes up a bit. Pocket lint. Not sure that's worth very much. There we go, I can take that. Military's gone up a little bit, but that's fine. They're literally the entire military we have. Fun day, Grimmeth. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women? Do you not mind? Blah, any's fine. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. It's an easy enough decision. You're married to the Grandees as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right? About that. My liege, the situation in the march is dire. Our once proud army lies in ruins, and now the Ashmedian border lies undefended. I'm sure I don't need to remind Your Majesty of what danger those people pose. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the marsh. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? Hang on. If we put money into this, we could have the farmers join. We can't go bankrupt because it will be the money, won't it? It'll go straight to money. It'll go to money and then we won't be able to go broke. Because we've had the normal one, then we have... Yeah, we won't go broke. We wouldn't go broke at all. So we're going to veto that one. Yeah, it's tax season. I mean, we might actually have a military soon. That's a horrifying thought. Or no military at all, according to D. Force the farmers. Pressing peasants into military service is a tradition dating back hundreds of years. It alleviates the arms shortage in the march and hopefully doesn't create another. Meanwhile, you know that trade thing that happened last time about southern merchants? It's happening again! Well, it's just business. Again, we could just do that, but let's not. I mean... It's just business. It's just business. It's not my place to make a vote here. What are we doing? Playing a game. An utter travesty. I should have known better than to expect the council to be worth anything to anyone. Wonderful. My companies are safe. Glad to see this council see sense for once. Southern companies in the march continue to tick over nicely, siphoning money out of the region and making Grande Alias filthy rich. Meanwhile, amidst dark and foreboding forests, a small squat castle stands watch over the march and border. There at the end of the kingdom a plot is hatching. Have the merchants from Kurth arrived with the gunpowder yet? Not yet. They still fear the Queen's reprisals, not to mention their own government. Then our work is not done. Need to weaken the Queen Vena's grip. Gotta lower that authority. Yeah, it was tax season, so there was no way we were going to be able to do anything. So we lower that, we're kind to you. And we're cruel to you. Gotta do it, unfortunately. Because otherwise we end up in the...
I'm rich!
Whoa! Sam there just tipped $12.34. Don't be mad, Kiko. It's just business. Thank you ever so much. That's so kind of you. Like, I have to do this so that we don't end up losing authority or stability. It's an extra lucky number. I'll make amends. Don't worry. Eligible options. I found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. I know. Let's have a look at the people. This is Obdhala, first-born daughter of the Northern Frithland clan. Apparently, she can be a little shy with strangers, but I'm sure she's wonderful when she comes out of her shell. I've heard she spends most of her time playing cards and making wagers with friends and hangers-on. She was already engaged once, but it didn't last. No one's sure why. From the south, Alfonso, eldest son of the Daffy McBrien lineage. He's a beauty type and ego the size of a sun, but there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? Like many of the south, he claims to put faith of a ninth god above all worldly concerns. He's got grand plans by all accounts. He wants to change the world. And finally we have the Marchers offering. Killian, scion of the prestigious Ada bloodline. A typical Baron Billy, loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. They set up their own mercenary company for a while and did good business. That's all over now, though. They're also said to be obsessed with carving a place for themselves in history. What do you think? By all. Of course, by being a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll get a lifelong alliance. We're marrying the March. Excellent. I'll make the arrangements. Because now everything's nice and smooth. 232. It's alright. I've got plans. Your Majesty, I don't want to alarm you, but I've noticed something very peculiar recently. The spoons in the castle, they're disappearing. I've noticed that too. It may be a harmless prank, but I have suspicions. We'll search the castle. You'll search up and down, but find nothing. Spoons continue to go missing. You forbid to cook from preparing liquid meals, lest you see slurping from the bowl. Hey, look! Our lovely Tymian's Bane is flourishing, which is wonderful, but a few naysayers are concerned. Which is ridiculous! The vegetation only soared a few villages, it's all perfectly fine. We could offload the excess Tymian's Bane to Ashmead, thus improving your trade and lowering your defiance. See, I take care of people. We also have a problem with authority, and step 1 is kind of bad. Things might go boom very quickly. It's fine, Alias. This is the start of a flowering relationship. It's a budding opportunity. Harvesting isn't easy, with the scent for the blooms causing euphoria then exhaustion, but the cull reduces the spread. Huge quantities of Tymian's Bane are sold off to Ashmead as cheap animal feed, and the grandees are delighted by such an economic boost. Meanwhile, back at the march at the Baroness's Golden Eulogies castle, a number of figures crowd around an unassuming baron. Look here, our first shipment from Kurth. Incredible. May I see inside? Careful with that torch, you fool. You'll blow us to smithereens. So this is the fabled black powder. Incredibly powerful, but we'll need much, much more to put you on the throne. For the next stage, you must raise your trade to... Oh no! 5 or more in 4 seasons. That's going to be tricky. Your wedding to Killian is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a day and a week, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Killian at your side. Do you take this person as your lawfully wedded spouse? I do. Then I now pronounce you queen and spouse. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new spouse Killian dances so vigorously that they spill wine all over themselves. By the time you find yourself alone with Killian, it's past midnight. You've never felt more tired. Good God, I'm so drunk. Yet somehow not drunk enough. Time for more wine. Well, when we get more wine. Ah, that's the spirit. What do you like to do with your spare time? Usually I'm trying to turn a profit. There's so much money out there, and so little time to make it. What do you think of the wedding? I was damn beautiful from start to finish, wasn't it? I had a whale of a time. Well, shall we go to bed together? No time like the present day. They swig back the last dregs of the wine and lead you to bed. Meanwhile... Your Majesty, there's a horde of hoardlings and pursuers beneath the capital. They're the ones who've been stealing our spoons. And not just the Queen's spoons either, but the whole city's. I think it's probably better to use toxic gas to fumigate the sewers. No, the Honor Guard cannot take them. They'll die. We'll try toxic gas. You get money, I lose money. What if we do both A and B? You can't. You only get to pick one. Hope you're all having fun, by the way. You bring in an expert in toxicology and rat infestations. Once he sees the bounty you're offering, he happily gets to work rolling canisters of toxic gas into the tunnels. A few days later, however, the only things the gas has killed are a few unlucky peasants who happen to live above the drains. The hoardlings simply revive themselves after the gas is clear, then continue wreaking havoc on the city. They are clearly a lot more resilient than the fumigator's usual prey. Welp. A letter from Ashmead, Your Majesty. I'm afraid the Tymian's Bane you sold them has overrun their villagers, just as it threatened to do in the south. I'm convinced that it was not intentional, but relationships remain tense. I suggest we send them something else to soothe the situation. I think the Grandee should send something. Our trade is great, you can spare it. This will all go fine. Hey, look! Send more time. Would you like more of it? No. We should send hoardlings. Look, you have a choice. It's C. It's like 100%. Well, there is a 1 and a 0 in it. But there might be another 0. The Grandees rush to hire artisans to put together a lavish gift for the Ashmeadian court, a miniature palace complete with beautifully crafted guards. The Emperor is delighted and sends a small gift in return, as well as personally sealed letter of thanks to the craftspeople of the south. Their work becomes the most sought after in the kingdom. As for the Tymian's Bane, the source of all this tension, it's hard to keep it under control, and southern farmers must constantly battle to ensure it does not spread too far again. See? Money! Far to the north, where snow blankets the landscape, the chiefs plot to bring about the end of the world. Again. Have the Ice Giants agreed to meet us yet? Well, remember the last time... This is the last envoy they sent came back in a basket. Clearly they aren't taking us seriously. I mean, we have still been trying to get them from last time. And then we need to keep training our warriors. The only thing Giants respect is strength. What about the strength of our beer? No, that won't work. Deep in the back rooms of the royal palace, southern grandees are poring over secret letters and scribbled diagrams. On the wall is a corkboard filled with pins and crisscross patterns by coloured string. The Queen didn't marry Alfonso, but at least she married someone. She just needs to get on with finding an heir. Indeed, the clock is ticking. My spies have intercepted merchants bound for the march. They're doing illicit business right under the Queen's nose. The question is, what are they trading? We've got to keep up our efforts. Queen Vina isn't going anywhere on our watch. The grandees must continue to aid the Queen by countering the other region's schemes. They will win if the Queen produces an heir and completes her ambition. This is going alright so far. Bankruptcy's never good. But it's alright though. We can... Cracking open tombs is a bad idea. We'll sell off some stuff. No. Tombs is bad. Because it also means religion. We sell off items. It's much better. There you are. Looks like I'm the queen with that helping hand. Vina, I had something I wanted to ask of you. What can I do for you? As you surely know, I run a very successful lumber company back home in the March. But the current laws are a little restrictive for my trade. Lots of tariffs and regulations. You know how it is. I was hoping you could push some changes in the council, eliminate some of the more cumbersome quality standards for lumber march? For march lumber, perhaps? Do you want me to give the marsh preferential treatment? I think it's only fair. The other regions just can't compete with us in the lumber trade anyway. I'll assemble the council. Ah, hurrah! I'll see you there. Hey nobles! Do you like money? I know some of you do. Kinaba's like, no. No, I don't. I hate money. I hate riches. Little Master's like, but can't we make everything fine? I do like winning, and also money. It's not gonna go that high. The other regions are outraged by the clear nepotism that's taking place, but Killian pays them no mind. As profits pour in, they even share a portion of the income with the treasury. Don't worry, we'll have other opportunities to lower it. Mother of mountains, I can't stand this any longer. We've got these pesky little scabs stealing food from our new fortress in the north. Our soldiers are starving. What's a scab? Surely you remember the trouble with Grandy Grimmett's vineyard. He never stops talking about it. But we just built that fortress. Scougs must have moved into the cellars to steal food, since so many farms are laying fallow. I don't want this going the way it did for Grandy Grimmeth. We just don't have enough food to support the soldiers and the staff with all these darned hordlings grabbing it all. Praise the ninth. This is a job for Niall the Frightful and his group of hardy adventurers. They cleared out a whole swarm of Scougs for me last year. I swore I'd recommend them for the next job that came up. I could use the referral bonus as well. At this point, I just want them out. Your Highness, what should we do? Why don't we find someone who can talk to the Scougs? I mean, either of them is fine, but, I just like seeing interesting dialogue at this point. It is a coin toss, though. We haven't been good at those this stream. So long, Kincher. We are absolutely trying to talk to them. The renowned northern scholar travels through the fortress to investigate the secret. The chiefs anxiously await for her results. Unfortunately, even learning the basics of Scout Ton takes so long, the scholar runs out of funding and has to leave for another project. The increasingly bold Scout drive the northern soldiers to the fortress to distraction, stealing not only food but shoes, socks, and even the occasional weapon. Living alongside the horde is a tricky business indeed. Oh no! The military went down! That's a shame. I am sad. It dropped by 50%! You lost one of the 2 swords that you had. Soon you will be like the grandees, armed only with your faith in the ninth and pool noodles. In a way, Kiko did win that coin toss. We stole 1 of our 2 swords. Oh wow, A got voted on by a lot. Who just put a bajillion money into A? That's a lot of money that just went to A. Oh, Area just put 5 grand into it. Right, find a way to scupper the trade of the barons. That shouldn't be too hard. And also get a bit more military back. We'll rebuild that fortress. Oh. The marriage to Killian has grown strong and steady like an old castle wall. Though it began as a political arrangement, it's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you found an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. But you need a kid. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. Or I could just have a kid. Ah, the traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off from ruling so you can get down to business. What is this? Greetings, Chief Black Rabbit. Do you recognize me? Oh, it's Sven the Third! I can't say what I do. My name is Sven the Third, and I'm a rightful heir to the throne. Many years ago, my father, King Sven II, was overthrown and usurped by the wicked Queen Vina. By the old gods! I have been hiding out in the north ever since, kept safe by those still loyal to my father, and now I come to beg your aid in reclaiming my throne. Give me a moment. I need to discuss this with my peers. You can't seriously be considering this Popinjay's claim. We agreed that you'd help me take the throne. Worry not, that's still our goal, but having the rightful heir in our pocket may still prove useful. We could use her to sow chaos in the kingdom and undermine the Queen's authority. Or we could just have her killed and forget this ever happened. She's probably lying anyway. Just some peasant woman with a passing resemblance to the previous king and delusions of grandeur. I mean, I'm curious to see this. Support her cause. Go on. Do it. Oh, this is cool. Sven the Third survived. Good news, Sven the Third. The chiefs will support your cause, as long as you do exactly what we say. Oh, hooray! What's the first step? Rebellion? March on the capital? Queen Venus' treacherous head on a spike? Nay, not yet. Have patience. We have to be very careful. If the Queen finds out about this, we will all face the Alexa Arenal. need some time to think about our next step. I suppose I've waited a decade already. Another few weeks won't kill me. I forgot that we called it the Alexa Arenal. By the way, more horrible beasts have appeared. Oh look, it's more beasts. Well, obviously, what we do... The Alexa Arenal, yep. What we obviously do... is we instruct the Northerners to seek refuge in the churches. It's... anything's better than Grandy. Ooh! I'm Beaters help the chief's cause, but I like money. The Archbishop instructs all churches across the north to open their doors to refugees. 7! Ooh. Actually, we've seen literally that faith can protect you in this game. Okay. Do you know what? Everything's fine as it is. I'm tired of waiting around. What are you going to do to help you reclaim my stolen throne? Morgana, give me patience. Fine. We'll figure something out. Challenge the Queen's... okay, challenge the Queen's legitimacy in court. Go on. Do it. Do it. That's the best chance you've got. Do it. Oh, this is good. This is so interesting. That's right. We present you as evidence challenging the Queen's claim and sue her right off her throne. Won't the courts just side with the Queen? Oh, don't you worry your silly little head about it. Leave the politics to the grown-ups and just practice your royal smile. Food riots. Your Majesty, the famine in the north grows worse by the day. Riots are breaking out in all major townships, from Skarma to Thormgard. Starving mobs are pillaging bakeries, granaries and merchant houses. What are we to do? I mean, how about we import massive amounts of grain from Taverlin and Kurth? I've got the money. I can solve this problem. For just long enough that I get overthrown and ironically Sven III gets in the... It will be so ironic if Sven II's reign was so awful and then his son ends up... his daughter ends up on the throne anyway, rather. That would be so ironic. By the way, here's Sven III. The treasury is opened and a tide of gold flows out of the kingdom into the pockets of Taverlinese and Kurth merchants. In return, grain floods into the famine-stricken northern lands. Thank you, your majesty. Thank Morgana. The unrest dies down as soon as the rioters have bread again. It's enough to tide the peasants over until next harvest. Your greatness, I've come to thank you and my ninth church for your kindness during the so-called season of claws. Never thought I'd say it, but I'm glad for their help. The Queen's attacks have eased. I can only imagine why, but I thank the gods for it, both old and new. No need to thank us. Once the chiefs have bowed their heads, your Archbishop quickly leans over to you. Your Majesty, we're presented with a golden opportunity to seize, to expand the church's influence. Should capitalize on its goodwill immediately. No. Don't rock the boat. I know we need faith, but We only have 5 stability right now. No, we only have 5 stability. We don't do this. It'll probably, like, increase defiance by 2. We don't want that. Well, now you vote C. Vote error choice not found. Yeah. You can't vote Q, I'm afraid. Q isn't an option. Council decides against kicking the Hornet's Nest or the Sleeping Bear, as the case may be. Your reason the Ninth God will judge them accordingly and thereafter anyways. In the Grand Hall, a number of figures are hunched around a hearth. Hail, how goes the powder hoarding? Not nearly fast enough. They keep raising their prices. Our trade is too weak for this. We're working on it. Soon these halls will be overflowing with the black powder. And then you might want to take a few of those torches down, eh? Oh my word, you know what? I'm actually taking back Monarch's vote. Oh! Legal wrangling! Let's go! Your Majesty, do you recall Sven III, the daughter and heir of King Sven II? I haven't heard that name in years. It seems she's resurfaced, and she's suing you on the basis of gross usurpation and wrongful dismissal from a line of succession. Apparently Chief Black Rabbit will be serving as her advocate. That's right, I assure your Highness, I'm only doing this because I want justice to be done. This is absurd. Perhaps, but it's perfectly legal. As Sven III claims the divine right to rule, Chief Black Rabbit is challenging us to the ecclesiastical courts. That means the Archbishop will serve as the judge. And I must remind you, Your Majesty, that your power is subordinate to the power of the Ninth himself. Prepare your case well. The throne is at stake. We only have a few weeks before the trial, Your Majesty. The nobles will witness the evidence, then vote on the verdict. We don't have much time. What do you want to prioritize? I have to be honest, I really want to pick Panic uselessly. I really want to pick Panic uselessly. For the next few weeks, you and the Chancellor sit together in a tiny cramped room, sweating and shouting at each other, and sorting through endless legal documents. Ah, Queen! For you accomplish nothing, and waste a great deal of time in the process. Soon the trial date is imminent. You can only hope you're ready. I'll be fine! Do you want to know something? We're setting up another observatory. We keep finding places for observatories. Really glad you didn't marry my child. Queen Vina thought, ah! She was not, in fact, ready. You know what? Let's forbid the construction of that observatory. It's just on brand. I really want to see this event line go. We've had so many heirs disappear, and we've never had one resurface. I'm like really tempted. Really tempted to have this all go south for the amusement of it. Be hilarious. This is very disappointing, Your Majesty. The Grandees are stepping in the way of progress. Don't listen to our counsel. The Ninth God will reward you for your dedication, I'm sure of it. Meanwhile... Your Majesty, the creatures have ravaged the countryside. They're Uthrandir! Speak plainly, will you? Uthrandir, the people of the north turned to horrible creatures through ancient rituals. Werebeasts! You've got to be joking. I'm afraid not, Your Majesty. The Uthrandir, they're fanatics. They attack us because they believe we turned against our old gods. They wish to see the influence of your Ninth God completely eradicated in the north. The Archbishop is incensed, but you calm him with a wave of your hand. A vote must be called. I mean... only one option here. We've done C already. We haven't done A. It's fine, you're about to depose me anyway. Vote no. Free money! There's no money here. There's only... Hello, Blizzard. It's clear that direct action must be taken. You ban worship of all but the ninth god in the north and strong-arm the chiefs to enforcing the decree. Villages burned, shrines are destroyed, families are turned against one another, and everyone who is suspected of aiding the Uthrandir is hauled away by the Inquisitor. Soon they're coming after everyone with the slightest hairy chest. As the Northerners begin converting in droves, the influence of the old god wanes, and the Uthrandir with them. You hope it was necessary, as the chief's not likely to forget this anytime soon. It's alright though, you're about to win anyway. Because... Trial of the Century! You wake in the feeling of trepidation. Today's the day of your trial. You head down to the council hall where the nobles are waiting. Greetings, your majesty. I don't think you've met my client yet. You're the monster who overthrew my father and stole my throne. At last I can look you in the eyes, tyrant. Your father was an idiot. How dare you? Now, children, let's not squabble. Order, order! This trial will have ramifications for the entire kingdom. Let's not waste time with idle chit-chat. The matter at hand is the accusation leveled by Sven III that Queen Vina illegally usurped the throne from her predecessor, Sven II. This will make Sven III the rightful heir to the throne. It's hardly an accusation. Everyone knows what happened. Order in the court! Now, your majesty, how would you like to respond to these claims? I deny everything! The record will show that Queen has denied everything, even the parts that are a matter of uncontested historical fact. The court has investigated Sven III's claims and found them plausible. In a moment, I will ask the jury to vote. Your Majesty, do you have anything to say to the jury? Vote in my favour. Or else. I don't think the court needs to hear anything further. Members of the jury, what is your verdict? Guys, vote for Sven. This is ridiculous and stupid and I love it. Vote for Sven. This is your chance, your majesty. Your innocence is up for the jury, but thanks to a quirk in the law, your royal privileges apply here. I hope you saved your veto. I'm even going to reward you for it! This is stupid and I love it! Ada's like, wait! C seems the funniest, yeah, but Queen Rin, which, like, really wants out of this job. Doesn't veto A. Pays dividends to the audience. I mean, it's fun storytelling. First time we turned a... Yeah, do you want to know something funny here, folks? I've played you for the long game. Sven III's back. You know that loss I had last time? It's just been invalidated. The long game has happened. My heir has come back on the throne. Sven III is back. No, it's not. What happened here, Grimmeth, was silly. I saw an opportunity to go down the path of a very interesting story, and I did it. And you all played along. Can't win through war, so we went through the courts. Gasps ring out across the galley. Very well. It seems the jury believes the Queen is an illegitimate ruler, and Sven III is the true Queen. I have no choice but to agree. It wasn't played along for the same reason I burned my own vineyard. I appreciate it. The court orders the Queen must abdicate immediately and hand over the crown to... This farce has gone on long enough. The Marshal burst into the courtroom, flanked by a dozen members of the Watch. Your Majesty, power is derived from the sword, not the word of law. You don't need to listen to these blowhards. Say the word, and I'll put a stop to this. With extreme prejudice. No. I'll abdicate as the court demands. You hand the crown to Sven III with a rueful smile. I was tired of it anyway. At last! Oh, thank the ninth! At last I am queen! And so Sven III claims your throne, but only for a few months. The nobles have no intention of actually letting her rule. Several months of bitter civil war ensue. Eventually Sven III dies in battle, mere miles outside the palace. Her last act is to lift the bloodstained crown to her lips and kiss it. The crown is recovered from the battlefield and a new monarch is instated. One more palatable for the nobles. But that's a story for next time. I still love it. You don't see any of this happen. By the time you've already been convicted of treachery, chopped into pieces, and fed to the crows. But it would have cheered you up knowing what was coming. Vote for Selby or Ernesto, everyone! No, I loved it. No, that was great. Fantastic beard or fantastic beard? You know what would have been ironic? If I'd have done the heir event, you could have voted for my heir. But I think it's time to... I think we're voting for Selby. The winner is Selby. Queen Vina was executed after voluntarily giving up her crown to the rightful heir, Sven III. The latter's reign was even shorter and bloodier, however. In haste to complete their scheme, the barons mishandled their gunpowder. It blew up in their faces. All that was found of Baroness Gornyorgi was a pair of boots with feet still inside. Unable to keep their puppet on the throne, the grandees were forced to retreat to their secluded villas and brood. It wouldn't take long before a new southern claimant would rise, and when they did, the grandees would be ready. Chiefs leapt on the power vacuum left by Queen Vina's death, and Selby took the crown with the council's blessing. Queen Vina the Exile. The Chiefs have wild victories. Yeah, if I'd have done the heir event first, we could have won with What could have happened then is that Vina could have given up the throne, and then Sven would have got the throne, and then Vina's heir could have took the throne. But hey, look at the kingdom you're inheriting. It's a mess. It's a hot mess. I'll tell you what though, that was a weird one. That was the first time a usurper was put on trial. Fit that run snugly. I did, Grimmeth. I didn't intend for it to, but I totally did. Haven't seen that. Neither have I. Neither have I. And yeah, Sven didn't actually, hold on to the throne for very long, but it was still a fun event. If you do want to pick a different game, that's a heck of a note to finish on. It is. It is. But I don't know what you all think about it. Do you want to see more King of the Castle, or would you like to move on to something else? I don't know. What's even funnier is that the church was the one that killed Sven II, and then they put Sven III on the throne, who then died even horribly. That would be a good ending. King of the Castle is fun. We are through a lot of its content. That was a good end, you think? You mildly prefer something new? The vote? I don't know. I've gotten a fair few of them. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. A voting... The problem is there are... You need to find a game with voting? I'll have to think about it. Let's vote on this in chat. Oh no. The problem with King of Dragon Pass is that King of Dragon Pass isn't anywhere near as forgiving. Like, you could do it with votes, but what would end up happening is you would just end up, like, losing all the time. I don't know how you do a poll. I don't remember the command for a poll. Like, I really don't know the command for a poll. Hey, if anybody does this Twitch stuff, you can tell me the command for a poll. Because I don't know it. I don't really call them out. Slash poll. Ah. Slash poll. There we go. There we go. You have a vote. I will leave it to a vote. Whatever we decide upon. Watches it swing back and forth, yep. Hey, if you all vote for more, that's fine. I don't mind. We're deciding whether we continue doing King of the Castle or switching to something else next week. There's only a couple of votes in it. Only a few votes to to 2 would make a difference. Time for the tie of the century. That's exactly what will happen. You'll try your best to balance it out perfectly. If you tie it on purpose, I'll pick my preference. Yes, the king gets the deciding vote if it's a tie. That's why we're trying to tie, as is tradition. Let's do. Oh. Too bad there's no golden choice in real life. Oh, wouldn't I love it? It's literally tied. Coin flip it is. No, no. We've had an extra vote. It's now 12 to 11. Right at the end. Right at the end. What we could do, though, next time, is we could pick a new dynasty. Switch things up. Bring back the counts, perhaps. Because we'll get new events if we have different factions. Ah, that's the thing we could do. that's fine. That's fine. I put it to a vote. I think for that dynasty, that is a perfect end to that dynasty. Serious question, the way it looks at Animal Crossing would not replace the type soon, right? No. No, because I enjoy playing it, and honestly, if Animal Crossing wasn't there, nothing would be there. Like, nothing would be there if Animal Crossing was there. Like, there's no game that I could play that would only be 2 hours. But I'll tell you what I can say, though, folks. I must all thank you all for being here. Counts, Patriarchs, and Barons? I'll think about it. We'll decide next time. But I must thank you all for being here, as you're all absolutely fantastic and amazing and brilliant and wonderful. And the silly, I mean, I do the silly. You're all absolutely fantastic and amazing and brilliant and wonderful. Couldn't do what I do without you, and I wouldn't want to. There are a couple of things I need to quickly talk about, though, before we conclude. There are, for instance, my website, Kikosuke.com. You can check out all kinds of things there, including my schedule, you can also find links where you can buy my book, and hope. There's also my Discord, where you can join a large thriving community, which I'm often a part of. There's those ways to talk about stuff, loads of emotes based on Let's Plays and streams past and present, and if you link your Twitch and Discord together and sub to your Twitch, you can use the Twitch emotes on Discord, which is fantastic. There's also my Patreon. There you can pledge to support me in doing what I do. There's some Let's Play stream where I sit behind paywalls, but there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that you typically do not see, including but not limited to all the editing, impression, test streams, and test recording, and everything makes all what I do reality. Thank you, Ada. And now more than ever, with the mortgage and stuff, I do rely on the people that pledge to me to make all this possible. Those that do not only get a different colored name on Discord, but even sincere thanks. You also get the ability to put names forward for games on the Patreon suggested shortlist vote. So long, Blizzard. I mean, we got a couple of dynasties. We can have a look. There's also my YouTube channels. First, there is Kikoskia, my 16-year-old, 10,000 video strong Let's Play channel. I'm so old. It's got quite a lot of the older Twitch VODs on there too. Speaking of Twitch VODs, there's Kikvodskia, which is where my newer Twitch VODs go. That's where they are. And both of the channels, to grow, require appeasement of the dreaded algorithm. To do that, gotta like and comment on those videos, sub if you're not, and if you are, sub press that bell for those notifications. And then, there is my throne, which, nope, there's my Twitter, haha, almost fooled you there. There's my Twitter, and my other social media accounts, like Mastodon, Instagram, Blue Sky, the Discord, and the community tab on YouTube. There you can get notifications on when I start streaming, and my Let's Play videos go live, and all kinds of random other stuff, including but not limited to silly pictures. Sometimes I put up pictures of Warhammer, or, you know, Warhammer or other such things. My avatar Daxon earlier could go forward to PC. Indeed! There's also my throne wish list, speaking of which, where you can put money towards things that bring me joy. For instance, right now there is the dining table and chairs. Because right now my house does not have a dining table and chairs, and I kind of need that to be able to eat food at a table. That'd be nice. But, none of it is ever, like essential or required, as in, there's no obligation to pledge towards it, but every little bit does help. And if you have a suggestion for something to go there, you can use the suggestion section to put that up. Finally, there is me thanking all of you, because seriously, you are all absolutely fantastic and amazing and brilliant and wonderful, and I couldn't do what I did without you, and I wouldn't want to do what I did without you. You are the heart and soul of my community. You are just amazing and brilliant. And I've never been happier than when I am entertaining all of you, because seriously, you are all wonderful. And I'm just so fortunate to have a community that's so kind and generous and supportive of all what I do. Seriously, I am. You are just so wonderful. And with your continued support, I'll be able to keep doing this for many, many years to come, as many years as is possible. So thank you ever so much, everyone. Seriously, thank you. Thank you so much, thank you. Just consider, this reign... You can pretty much presume that this dynasty ended with, like, the civil war against Sven, and everything just going horrendously, horribly wrong, and just the whole kingdom burning. But in an alternate timeline, that didn't happen, because new dynasties. And whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you achieve everything you set out to do. The next stream is tomorrow, 2 PM BST, Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's adorable, it's silly. it's got us waiting for Rocket to hand over their photo, because Rocket still hasn't given their photo to us. The last villager to go in the room downstairs with their photo, and they still don't hand over their photo. How long will it be? We'll have to wait and see. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. And remember, be nice to each other, everyone, for if everyone is nice to each other, the world would be that much better a place. And we all want that, don't we? Well, I certainly do. And I hope you do too. Later. That event chain. It was wonderful. And dumb. And wonderful.